Hi again. Reading October 17th, Friday. Oh no, not 17th, 16th. 16th. Reading Friday, October 16th. That's better. Pages 49 and 50 in your Turn practice book, or it'll be in your Friday packet, 49 and 50. And you need The Squirrel, the Tall Skinny Literature Anthology, page 94 book. We're going to be reading a little kind of a diagram story out of there. So, Your Turn practice book, 49 and 50, and also your reading book, the skinnier one with the squirrel and the key, but page 94. So that's what we're going to need today. And do you remember, yesterday we talked about labels. So it was a word pointing to a picture, telling you more about that picture. Okay, so we're going to talk about diagrams and labels today. And we're going to start with this fun little game. This is a diagram. Look at the diagram, and I'm going to write that word, diagram. There's a consonant blend, gram, diagram. This is a picture with labels. That's a diagram. It helps you understand the picture and the parts better. Okay, this first word says handlebars. So I'm going to grab, sometimes I have to go over and use my, mouse. I'm going to grab, it went away. There it is. I'm going to come over and use my mouse so I won't be in the picture for a minute. All right, handlebars. These are the handlebars. So this is a label that tells you what this part of the bike is. The whole picture is called a diagram. Seat. This is a label that tells you what this picture is. Wheel. This is a label that tells you what this part of the picture is. And pedal. You have to pedal the bike. Okay? This whole thing is called a diagram. We have handlebars, seat, wheel, and pedal. These words are called labels. They help you see what the parts are.
Excellent work.
Yay, we did excellent work on that. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is look at this workbook page, Your Turn practice book page 49. 49. Look at the diagram of a cat. Use the words from the box to write the labels. Okay? This is a diagram of a cat. The whole thing is called a diagram. These are the labels, and we need to put the labels where they go. Okay? Back. This arrow is pointing to the cat's back. Okay? Pause it, do it, and then come back and we'll check it. Pause me, do this page, and we'll come back and we'll check it. Okay. Egg. 94. Egg. Ear. This is a label. We're going to label his ear with the word ear. And number 3, the arrow is pointing to his eye. So these words are called labels. This whole picture is called a diagram. Diagrams have labels to help you understand what you're looking at. Okay? All right. Now we're going to do the reading anthology, page 94. So you need your reading work or your reading book, page 94. And it's going to look like this. Using diagrams. Down here we're going to see a diagram when I can pull it up in just a minute. What body parts help kids move? Using diagrams. A diagram shows the different parts of something. It is a picture with labels. There's that word we've been talking about. Labels. The labels name the parts. Look at the fish and the girl. What parts do they both have that are the same? Let's look at the fish. This is a diagram. These are called labels. Gills, that helps the fish breathe. Head, fins help the fish swim. And its tail helps it swim too. So now let's look at the girl. Head. Does a fish have a head? Yes. Does a girl have a head? Yes. A girl has a hand. Does a fish have a hand? Nope. So that's different, isn't it? Shoulder. Fish don't have shoulders. Arm. Fish don't have arms. So that's how they're different. This girl has a leg. The fish does not have a leg. And the girl has a foot. And the fish does not have a foot. And the fish has fins, but the girl does not. And a fish has a tail, but the girl does not. So some body parts they have the same, and some body parts are different. What tricks do you think a fish could do with its body parts? Swim through the water and maybe go upside down and maybe in a circle, right? Because it has fins. Also, it can breathe underwater. That's a pretty good trick. It can breathe underwater for ever and ever, right? Okay? So when we use diagrams, the labels help us know what we're looking at. The labels tell us more about a picture. Just like we did with the cat. Okay. Now, you are going to need page 50 in your Turn practice book. Page 50 in your Turn practice book. And we're going to do a little bit of writing. All right, this is a little tiny story. It says, I tied my shoes. I put my socks on. I put my shoes on. What is the writing about? The writing is about somebody tying their shoes, putting on their socks, and putting on their shoes. Look, guys, is this in the right order? I tied my shoes. I put on my socks. And then I put my shoes on? That's not in the right order, is it? Which event had to happen first? What did they have to do first? tie your shoes, put your socks on, or put your shoes on. What do they do first? I think first would be put socks on, right? 2 is put my shoes on. And what do you think they did last? Yep, tie the shoes is last. So they had them in the wrong order, right? How can you change the sentences to put the events in order? I put my socks on. I put my shoes on. I tied my shoes. Now, we're going to rewrite this, but we're going to add first, next, last. So we're going to make it, this is confusing the way they had it. What we are going to do is make it so that we know exactly what happened first, next, and last, so that we can have a clear picture in our mind, so that the story is not confusing. Okay? So we're going to rewrite it so that it's really clear and we can understand it. So we're going to start with first, and you're going to write with me. Capital F. Notice when I make my strokes, I start at the top and go down. First, I put my socks on. Period. That's what you do first, right? You put on your socks. Then make sure you have a capital and period and spaces between your words. Then I put my shoes on, period. We used first. I want you to go ahead and circle first. We used then. And now we're going to use last. Last, I tied my shoes. And we're going to end it with another period. Okay. Why is it important when you are telling a story or writing a story to tell what happened first, then, and last? Why is it important to put things in order when you're telling a story? Because if you don't, it's not going to make sense, right? They didn't make sense at the top, so we had to fix it. These are called transition words. These are words that you really need in your writing. First, I put my socks on. Then I put my shoes on. Last, I tied my shoes. First, then, and last. Those words are called time order words or transition words. They're very important when you write. Otherwise, people won't understand what you're trying to say or what you're trying to write. Okay? Okay. You will have a comprehension test to do. We can go ahead and look that over. Just real quick, you'll have this to do. Your parents can read it to you, and they can read you the choices, but they cannot help you with it. Okay? Number 1, what genre is this story? Number 2, what do kids use to move? Oh, we really didn't talk about the genre that much, did we? The genre of Let's Move would be non-fiction, true. It gives us information. Oops. So the answer to 1 is non-fiction. Non-fiction is true. 2, what do kids use to move? 3, what are you doing if you pull with your arms and kick with your feet? 4, what do you catch balls with? And 5, what part of the body keeps the hula hoop up? Okay, so your parents can help you read this, but we want you to do it by yourself and then take a picture of it and send it to your teacher. Okay? That's your little comprehension test for the story. Okay. And that concludes reading for this week. We will see you next time around. Have a great weekend, boys and girls. Don't forget to upload this and send it to your teacher by Saturday morning. Have a great weekend. Bye-bye.